Hey you guys, what is up? What is happening? What is going on? Your girl Ashley over here with AHM Artistry, and I was about to kind of compare some powders onto my face, kind of get to the bottom of why the Magic Star Concealer is creasing on me, and I thought, I better film this and see. That way you guys can know, I know, and there we go. I'm going to be testing out today the Jeffree Star Magic Star Setting Powder versus the Hourglass Translucent Powder, because I want to find out, is the Magic Star Concealer, is it creasing because it's creasing, or is it creasing because of the powder? Because I've only ever used that combination because I've been testing that out and seeing if I can try different ways to apply it to make it not crease. But you know what? I need to see if it's the powder because it could be the culprit or it could be the concealer. I don't know. I'm going to be testing out these powders though for that reason, and also for the reason that this Hourglass powder is expensive, and quite frankly, I don't want to pay that if I don't have to. So I have this little Hourglass translucent veil over here that I've been in love with for the last few months. It doesn't dry out my skin. It keeps me feeling fresh, hydrated, and glowy. But this girl kind of does the same thing, but it's having some creasing issues. So I want to compare them, want to see which one will win in that department, and see if we can replace this high-end one with this one. So I'm going to be cutting to me, applying the powder right onto my face, and then we're going to go into specifications. That way, if you're not really into product details and price points and price per ounce, you can kind of just jump over to that, because after that we are doing the 8-hour wear test to see how the powders hold up under more normal conditions. So if that all sounds good and dandy to you guys, if you came here to see all that, then you know what to do. Sit back, hang tight, and keep on watching. All right, let's go ahead and slap these powders right on my face. And just for reference, I started with the Tarte Quench primer and a little bit of the Physicians Formula Spotlight primer in the high points of my face. And then I went in with a little bit of the Jeffree Star Magic Star Concealer, followed by the IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Foundation, and then a little bit more of the Magic Star Concealer. Obviously, same products on both sides, even playing field. And if you like my eye look today and you were hoping for a tutorial on this eye look, then you gotta make sure that you're following me over on Instagram, because I did this on Insta Stories in the morning of filming this, and you don't wanna miss out on that stuff. So make sure you jump over and follow me on Instagram so you don't miss out, because I do surprise tutorials all the time. So on this side, I will do the Jeffree Star Magic Star Setting Powder, and this side will be the Hourglass Veil. Let's start with the Magic Star Powder. I'm going to use the Real Techniques for my under eye area. This one is called Setting Brush, just the regular setting brush. I'm going to swirl it in the cap and dust off. I'm not going to bake under my eyes because I am dry like the Sahara Desert, but I think I'm going to try a tiny itty bit of baking. I'll show you what I mean. Take a little bit of the powder down here. Powder the nose with this brush because I don't know how close I can get to half with the other one. I never have baked with either of these powders before, so we're gonna just see if it works, but I'm just gonna carve down here using the powders because, like I said, dry as the Sahara Desert. So I don't wanna do that. I'm gonna press a little bit on this little beauty sponge and wipe it. I need more. Oh my gosh, it's been a second since I baked because I don't like it. Okay, let's just do, you know, the beard powder technique. See if that changes anything, like the longevity or anything like that. Now I'm gonna go in with this fluffy brush and just gently set everywhere else. And I even foundation to my neck. So down here too. This container is such a mess though, I swear, I don't like it. I don't like the container at all. All right, just cleaned off my brushes. Let's go in with the other side. There's a little contraption. I'll show you guys these up close in a minute when we're talking about specifications. Go in with that same under eye brush, tap it off. Now, I don't know if it's in my head, but I feel like the Magic Star Jeffree Star Setting Powder almost has a more cooling feel and like silkier feel. I think it's the silica that's in it. I don't know if the Hourglass has it. I'll have to look that up. The nose with this same brush. Now with the other side of my beauty blender, I'm going to do the same baking situation. Oh, I need more. It's so hard to get powder out of this contraption though. The other one is like messy, and this one, it's just hard to get it out. You have to like close the cap, tap, and then put back. It's not like, for somebody that wants to bake, it's not the most baking friendly contraption, which I don't like to bake, so that's not a deal breaker for me, but just something to be noted. All right, there we are. There is the slight tiny itty bitty baking that I'll do for testing purposes. Let's go in with the fluffy brush everywhere else. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my contour and everything while this is baking, and then we're gonna see if anything looks different up close and personal, what the tea is on that, and then we'll talk about specifications and all that. So be right back. Okay, now before I do the lips and hair and whatever, I wanted to show you this because this is interesting. The Jeffree Star Magic Star kind of like blended really weird next to my bronzer contour. So this is like where the baking is. Some of it's kind of dusted away, but it's changed it, like mixed with the contour and stuff, into like a very weird color where the Hourglass just looks blended and nice. It doesn't have like this streak. Very weird. Just thought I'd mention it. Okay, I'll be right back. Here are the two sides now with everything all done. Let me zoom you in and tell you what I'm seeing. Now the differences are very subtle, like you have to really be looking up close to see the differences, but I see a difference. So I feel like my under eyes look better on the Hourglass side. Like if I gently pull down the skin, there's no creasing of powder or concealer or anything. The Magic Star side, there is. I see a little itty bitty tiny like miniature roll, which is the problem that I had when I was testing both the concealer and the powder together when I first got the Magic Star. So what that means is I think it's the powder that's the culprit for me, because I don't see any of that rolling on this side. We'll see how it goes in the wear test, if there's any difference there. And then my pores and everything blended over here just looks smoother, more airbrushed, where over here it kind of is a little bit caked over here, and maybe it's from baking, but I mean I baked this side too, so I can't say that. And up here it's kind of sitting weird in my pores. I feel like my under eyes look drier on the Magic Star side, even though it feels like a silkier powder. I can't tell a difference anywhere else. I was hoping that because this one was so much more inexpensive than the Hourglass that it would beat it out once I did it side by side, but off of the like first impressions for the verses, I am liking the Hourglass side, but we have to do a wear test. So let's talk about specifications of these two different powders just in case you're interested. I won't go too much into detail, but just a little bit, and then I'll show you how it wore after 8 hours. Let's talk about specs, baby. Let's talk about you and me. I'm pretty sure I've used that joke before. Ooh, sorry. So first up, let's discuss the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. This one retails for $46 and it comes with 0.36 ounces of product, or 10.5 grams if you prefer to say that. What that breaks down to is $127.78 per ounce. So that is really pricey when it comes to price per ounce. My girl over at Beauty Deals at BFF did a price comparison breakdown when the Magic Star came out versus all the other powders, and if this wasn't the most expensive one, it was really high up there, like $127 per ounce. Oh girl, that is a lot. So that is that. This one only comes in one shade, so there's no other options for you with that. I don't know if Hourglass eventually will or not, but that is what they offer at the moment. It isn't completely white. It is a very like, I would say like beigey translucent shade. It's not, it's pretty neutral. And the sifter for me personally turned out to be a little bit annoying. I thought it looked beautiful at first, but then when it comes to like day-to-day usage, you guys, it's kind of annoying, I'm not gonna lie. This little cap has like a sealer on it, which is great. It stops the powder from getting everywhere, so anytime I open it, it's not crazy messy. It does keep it pretty contained. If you see, the powder is right in the middle. And what you have to do though, if you need more powder, is you have to close it, turn it over, shake it if you need a lot, and then I tap and then I open it up again. So it's not very convenient, but it's beautiful, it feels luxurious, and you know what? It keeps my powder in place and I don't open it every time and the powder goes everywhere. So keep that in mind as we discuss through the Magic Star powder and the pros and cons. So that is what we're working with on that one. I don't know if you can see the little H in there. Really pretty. So you are getting more of a package luxury experience with this, but that might be part of the reason why the price point is up there. Now let's jump into the Jeffree Star Magic Star Setting Powder. So this one retails for $22, which I feel is a great mid-range price point. It has just about the same amount of product that you get with the Hourglass, with this one at 0.35 ounces or 10 grams of product. This one's only $62.30 per ounce, so it's half of what the Hourglass costs. There was a lot of people that were upset about the concealer. That one was very, very expensive price per ounce, but this one is about mid-range. It's very similar to the Kylie Cosmetics setting powder. A couple of the Too Faced ones are very similarly priced. There are a lot of powders out there that are way cheaper price per ounce that were in the luxury category. So very interesting. I'm not sure what ingredients these are using to price their products, or if it's just a random thing, I don't know. Unlike the Hourglass setting powder that only launched in one shade, Jeffree Star launched launched his powder in 8 different shades. So that is really accounting for a lot of people's uses and a lot of different skin tones, which is tremendous. Just in case you're wondering, I did pick up the beige shade for me personally because I felt like the translucent shade from him was white, which I don't usually gravitate towards the powders that are just completely white because I'm worried about flashback and stuff like that. So the beige shade to me looked very similar to the Hourglass translucent one. That's why I went with that. But if you want the different options, that is awesome that Magic Star has that for you. This is the packaging of the Magic Star. This one, I don't know why. Oh, I know why. The Hourglass, it's heavier. It feels denser. It feels more luxurious. The Jeffree Star isn't heavy. So this was probably why I felt like it's more not as luxurious feeling, which you guys is just perceived value. A lot of companies out there, not just makeup, will make things weighted more when they are luxurious just so you can perceive to have a higher value of the product. And this one has, I think this is acrylic, which is denser, where this is plastic. So this one doesn't feel as luxurious. It's only $22, but it has that really pretty embossed logo. I don't think that's the word, but it's like a raised logo. It's nice. I hate the contraption. Can you see all the powder flying out when I open this? This was closed. It is still closed, and look at how much powder is in there, you guys. I can't stand it. For me, I don't know if I just have a dud, but okay, look at when I twist. Look at the powder that's like everywhere up in there. Look at it. It has some coming out over there that's new. It pushes the product and the powder around, and then it's not like flush enough, so powder just slips through the hole. So I recently traveled with this, and when I got home, there was so much powder in there. It's like, okay, well that doesn't work for that. Good intentions, but it didn't work. But I do like that the lid is just, nothing is in it, unlike this one. So for me, it's a toss-up. This one feels more luxurious. I do like the H, and I do like the stopper in this one. However, I like to use my lid. So that's where I like this one better, because I like the lid. So it's a toss-up. I don't know. I think this one is more pretty in my vanity, but are we really here to discuss all that? I don't think so. Now, I'm not really gonna dive deep into the claims that both of these powders make because they are really similar. Both of them claim to smooth out the pores, blur imperfections, blur the look of fine lines, and both be silky and nice. But other than that, we really just need to see how it goes. So with that being said, let's jump over to the 8-hour wear test and see how everything is looking. And then she reappears after 8 hours of wear time magically. Okay, so for real, let's talk about this comparison after the 8 hours. As you can tell, I have a very dewy look to me. This is very normal for both of these powders for me, and I personally like it. It's border oily, but in person it just looks like I have very dewy foundation on. It doesn't necessarily look greasy. It's just light reflective, if that makes sense. I have very dry skin, so I like that, but you know, to each their own. If you are looking for an oil control powder, neither of these are your babes, in my opinion. Now, the only thing I will say is Hourglass does not claim to mattify or control oil, where the Jeffree Star Magic Powder on his website claims to control oil. So right out of the gate, I'd say nope, it doesn't do that in my experience. Every time I wear this powder, I have a glowy finish, and I have this dewy look after a few hours of wearing it, no matter which foundation I pair it with. So that may or may not be a deal breaker for you, I don't know. Literally the only difference I see in the two sides though is the under eye area. Just like I mentioned before, I have a slight bit of creasing. It's very, very minor. Like I really have to like, you know, stretch out the skin and look to see a little bit of creasing on the Jeffree Star side versus the Hourglass side. I don't see it. I feel just overall look drier on this side under the eye. That's kind of what I expected with this powder now after using it probably like 6 or 7 times. I don't think I like it for my under eye area just because it doesn't last as long, and just the creasing I'm not a fan of. So I will be switching back over to this powder personally, but I'm not like throwing this out the window or anything dramatic like that. It still looks really pretty. There's just a little couple areas that I don't like as much as the Hourglass, but I think for a day that I want just something really quick on the go that I'm not worried about longevity, I would go with the Magic Star. But even Hourglass, like it's not about long wearing for this powder. It's more like making my skin not look like a cracked out alligator. If I needed something long wearing, I would go something with the Laura Mercier or even the Tarte Shape Tape Setting Powder. So that's my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think, if you can see any noticeable differences. Otherwise, pretty much everything else wears the same except under the eyes. So if that was to be what you were deciding between finish wise, if you don't need it for the under eyes, if you're not worried about that, or if you don't have any fine lines or crow's feet that you're dealing with, then you could go with the Magic Star and save yourself a lot of coin. Otherwise, if you're worried more about under eyes, but you like that dewy finish, then you could go with the Hourglass because it's more like 2 for 1. I wouldn't have to go in with another powder under the eyes if I was using this one because this one does the trick. So that is that. All right, my love bugs. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching this little versus video. If you watch me, you know that I love battling out products over here on my channel. And if you don't know me, hey, hi, how you doing? I'm Ashley once again with AHM Artistry. Now would be a good time if you'd like to see more to go down and hit that little red subscribe button. That way you get notified when I post new videos, which is at least 3 times a week, all beauty videos, and I just have so much fun creating for you guys, so much fun. And while you're at it, go check out the rest of my videos on my channel because I have like over 150. Yes, I am over here working for you guys, having a good time, playing with makeup. Anyways, I hope that every single one of you out there, every single one of you, have a great, freaking awesome, wonderful, magical day.